Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Jai Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Radhe Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Shama Sundar, Radhe, Jai Radha Ramana, Radha Ramana, Radhe Ramana, Radha Ramana, Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan Dham, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Vrindavan, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita, Jaya Gaurani, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय निष्पाद परम सुप्रतिकातर स्तोत्र सदा शिल प्रपाद महाराज की, इस्कॉन संस्थापक शिल प्रपाद महाराज की, कृष्ण कृपामूर्ति शिल प्रपाद महाराज की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रपाद महाराज की, जय निष्पाद परम सुप्रतिकातर स्तोत्र सदा भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, अनंत कोटि आचार्य वृंद की, नवाचार श्री हरदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की, जगन्नाथपुरी द्वारका द्वारका धाम की, गंगे में यमुना माया की, तुलसी भक्ति देव की, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की, श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेट बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assemble duties, all glories to assemble duties, all glories to assemble duties, all glories to all glories, Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees for today's Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatam class. And today we have actually started the Ram Navami celebrations and series of lectures on devotees of the Lord, and the glories of the Lord is being elaborated. So today it will be on the Jatayu Vadha or Jatayu Moksha. Hare Krishna. So before we start the class, I'll start my prayers. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Suvadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Please repeat the shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So the shloka assigned for today is from the 9th canto, 10th chapter, titled Pastimes of Supreme Lord Ramachandra, and verse number 12. Shloka number 12. Dagdvatma kritya hata kritya mahan kabandam sakhyam vidhaya kapibhir dayita gatim tai buddhavata valini hate plavagendra shainyair velam agatsa manujo aja bhavarchitangrihi Dhagdvatma kritya hata kritya mahan kabandam sakhyam vidhaya kapibhir dayita gatim tai buddhvata valini hate plavagendra sainyair velam agatsa manujo aja bhavarchitangrihi Dhagdvatma kritya hata kritya mahan kabandam sakhyam vidhaya kapibhir dayita gatim tai Budvata Valini Hate Plavagendra Sainyair Velam Agatsa Manujo Aja Bhavarchitangrihi. Word by word meaning Dagdva, by burning. Atmakritya, Ahatakrityam. After performing religious rituals required after the death of Jatayu, who died for the Lord's cause. Ahan, killed. Kabandam, the demon Kabanda. Sakhyam, friendship. Vidhaya, after creating. Kapibihi, with the monkey chiefs. Daita Gatim, the arrangement for delivering Sita. Tai, by them. Buddhva, knowing. Atha, thereafter. Valini Hate, when Vali had been killed. Plavaga Indra Sainyai, with the help of the soldiers of the monkeys. Velam, to the beach of the ocean. Agat, went. Saha, he, Lord Ramchandra. Manujaha, appearing as a human being. Aja, by Lord Brahma. Bhava, by Lord Shiva. Archita Angrihi, whose lotus feet are worshipped. Translation: Lord Ramchandra, whose lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, had assumed the form of a human being. Thus, he performed the funeral ceremony of Jatayu, who was killed by Ravana. The Lord then killed the demon named Kabanda, and after making friends with monkey chiefs, killing Vali, and arranging for the deliverance of Mother Sita, he went to the beach of the ocean. Purport, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Ravana kidnapped Sita, he was obstructed on the way by Jatayu, a large bird. But the powerful Ravana defeated Jatayu in the fight and cut his wing. When Ramchandra was searching for Sita, he found Jatayu almost dead and was informed that Sita has been carried off by Ravana. When Jatayu died, Lord Ramchandra did the duty of his son by performing the funeral ceremony, and then he made friends with the monkeys to deliver Sita Devi. Hare Krishna. Om Agnantimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakya Chakshunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So this shloka is in very brief summary, just a gist of Ramayana. As we know, Bhagavatam has covered Ramayana, but in a very brief way. So here it is mentioned how Ramchandra, whose lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they had assumed the form of a human being. So here Ramchandra took the form of a human being, and then he enacted as if he is like any other mortal souls, but actually that was not the case. Thus he performed the funeral ceremony of Jatayu, who was killed by Ravana. So just very briefly, Jatayu's mention is there. So what happened before that, and how did he meet Jatayu? What are the interactions between Ram and Jatayu? What was the relationship that he had with Ram or with his father Dasharath? And also how Jatayu, how he accustomed, how he came in contact with Ravana, and then what all he did, what heroic efforts he did, and how he fought with Ravana, and what was the outcome of it, and then what actually happened in the end. So all these things are detailed in the Aranyakanda of Ramayana. So that I will be covering now. So then the Lord killed the demon Kabanda. Again, after Jatayu, Kabanda is there, and then he meets Hanuman, Vali, Sugriva, and that again everything has been skipped very briefly. It says that how he killed Vali. Vali was killed, and then went to Sita, fetch Sita in Lanka, and then she was also delivered. So like that, this is mentioned. And Prabhupada also gives a bit about Jatayu's heroic deeds. That when Ravana kidnapped Sita, he was obstructed. So Jatayu obstructed him because he wanted to. Actually, it was his Jatayu was given the duty of safeguarding all the three personalities in the forest. Although it was a duty destined to him, because Jatayu is an eternal servant of the Lord. He has been there serving the Lord, and but it is not depicted in such a way that he was there as a bodyguard or a security like that. But because he was living in the same forest, the Dandaka forest, so it was endowed upon him that he should protect. Of course, there are others also, like it could be Garuda, it could be any other like even Hanuman, or all these were there. They were all meant for the Lord's protection, but it has not been actually depicted. I mean, when we see that when Ram, Lakshman, and Sita came to the forest for the exile, they were three alone. That's all. Nobody. I mean, for the Lord, actually, what protection he needs? There's no need for protection, but it was there, like allocated duty. And even when Ravana came to abduct Sita in the form of a disguise, taking a sannyasi, Ravana sannyasi, and all that. So even at that time, he was not there visible, but the duty was, that allocation was there, the duty, and so that is how his role was there. And even later, as we see that Jatayu is the first one who finds out. He was the first one who gets the message that Sita Mata has been kidnapped, and he sees personally Ravana doing that. So that means it has been divinely arranged. Why only Jatayu should be there for that purpose? Why only he? because he was the one, having that claim or the rightful claim to protect the Lord and serve the Lord. So that is how we can understand how Jatayu was there in that required time and required place and required circumstances, and how he showed his devotional service. So like that it says, and Prabhupada also says, but the powerful Ravana defeated Jatayu in the fight and cut his wing. So when Ramchandra was searching for Sita, he found Jatayu almost dead. So while he was searching, found and then informed. And Jatayu informed the whereabouts and all the things that we'll come to know when we go through the Ramayana. So many, it's actually 4 chapters are meant only for Jatayu's, interaction and obstruction, his fight. 4 chapters, about 200 shlokas are there. And in before that also, I think that comes in the 62, 63, 64, like that shloka, that chapters. But before that also, in the introduction, in the early chapters also of the Aranyakanda, it is also mentioned about Jatayu. So that also we'll cover. So, and Jatayu died because when he fought and his wings were cut, and Ramchandra performed, he took the role of a son of Jatayu, and he did the, all the funeral rites, and then he later on made friendship with monkeys. So this is the brief. Now coming back to the Aranyakanda, and also here when we talk of here, Bhagavatam also stresses that he took the form of a human. Why he took a form of a human? Why he came? Again, that is also a history behind it. Why Ram had to come in a human form? Why? Anyone knows? Because he had got a boon that Ravana thought, because of his so much of meditation and so much of which penances he had done, and he was a great Shiva Bhakta. Brahma also, he had got some boons. So what is the boon that he had taken was, he took the boon that he should not be killed by any other force except human. So that means he had so much, he was overconfident actually, that no human can kill me. That was his height of arrogance and ahankar. So he thought that because he's such a huge personality, such a great warrior, no human can touch me. So why I should take the boon from these demigods? There is no need. Let me take a boon which will protect me from other living entities. Other, it could be an animal, it could be another Gandharva, it should be Yaksha, or whoever it is. Well, like that, he had come to that understanding, and he said that human being, no problem, no, I will manage them. So for that reason, Ram had to come, took a form of a human. And he lived as if he is one amongst us, and he came in the Raghu Vamsha family. So that is the understanding. And then also one more important thing which is coming out. As we go, I think I will explain that. So it is already clearly mentioned, he is worshipped by Brahma and Lord Shiva. So because they are all his servitors, eternal servitors. So in the Aranyakanda, in the third, this is the third kanda, 14th chapter, shloka number 2. Just before that, shloka number 1 talks of the beginning of the shloka. Then while proceeding to Panchavati, that Raghu's descendant came across a mammoth eagle with a marvelous might in the midway. So when they had come to this Panchavati, actually they first came to Agastya Muni's ashram. I mean, when they really came for the exile. So they met Agastya Rishi, and then Agastya Rishi also, they stayed in his ashram for a few days, and then he was advised, you please go to this Panchavati area. And then from Panchavati, they came to this Dandaka, which is today's Nasik, near the Nasik region. So while coming there only, they met this bird, Jatayu. On seeing such an eagle in the forest, those two highly privileged brothers, Rama and Lakshmana, questioned it, asking, who are you? Actually, presume it to be a demon. Mahabharata. So when they saw such a gigantic animal, immediately that came to their mind was that, are you a demon? Of course, Lord knows everything, but he is now in a different role. So it is that he's asking a natural question, what like a human or a ordinary person will ask, or a prince can ask. Who are you? Presumably. So, but that legal, with the sweet and soft words, spoke to them as though to please them. Oh boy, Rama, know me as your father's friend. So this is the relationship that between Rama, Dashrath, and Jatayu. So Jatayu has been serving Ayodhya and serving Dashratha from ages. Actually, in Ramayana it says that he was there for 60,000 years serving. So even last week also, when our Makanal Prabhu was telling that, even that is mentioned, 60,000 years. But again, bewildering, the question is that in Treta Yuga, we know what is the lifetime. What is the lifetime of all the people living there? It's around 10,000 years. So how come 60,000? So it is a little dilemma. But again, the same, that samvatsara can be used in different connotations and meanings, and also that Ram Rajya, before Ram Rajya, Dashratha Rajya also was so opulent, so rich. So people were for living for such a long period. They didn't have any disease, no misery, nothing. So even if they live for say 1 year, that 1 year may look like 100 years. Correct? That is what happens. In our human psychology, if you see the moments of joy, fun, and laughter, you will cherish, and then even if you spend for say half an hour or 1 hour, you will feel as if you have enjoyed it for such a long time. That is the human nature, psychology, that the small. But when it comes to the grief or sorrow, even just 1 second or 1 minute or 1 hour will feel as if, my God, from ages I've been suffering. By ages I've been, because the whole mind is contemplating on that. We are, it's always the small, slightest of the misery is caused so much worrisome that we keep on, keep on remembering it, and then we keep on, suffer for it. So like that, when it comes to a sorrow, it will take so much time. But when it comes to a joy occasion, even a few minutes or a few seconds, it will be like ages. So that also is another connotation to this. So like that, he's already serving Dashrath, and then he knows he's a friend of Dashrath Maharaj. So like that, they come to know and they get introduced, and then so Ram asks them what is their ancestry, what is their give some introduction and all that. And so now the eagle narrates what is their ancestry. Actually, we know that from Kashyapa. Kashyapa married the daughters of Daksha Prajapati. So amongst them, amongst all the Aditi, Diti and all that, there is one Tamra and Krodavasha. These all the other two women married. So this from Tamra, there was 5 girls were born: Kraunchi, Bhasi, Sheni, Dhritarashtra and Shuki. So then from Krodavasha gave birth to another 8 or 9 daughters. So like this, and then there is a link of Kadru. Kadru is one of that Krodavasha's daughter, and Kadru actually gave to the 1,000-headed serpent, who is the bearer of the earth, and the Sarpa, the Sarpas, all the Sarpas, and then Vinuta, she gave to Garuda and Aruna, 2 sons. Actually, Garuda and Aruna also are the eagle. They got the form of an eagle. Again, that's a big history behind it, how they got the form of a eagle. And these 2 were then. And then Garuda, we know, again, carrier of the Lord, again eternal servitor of the Lord. And Aruna is actually the charioteer of sun god. So so now here he gives the introduction. Oh, enemy destroyer Rama, I took birth from that Aruna, the charioteer of sun, and my elder brother Sampati too. Hence know me as Jatayu, the son of Sheni. Sheni is that one of the daughters which we discussed. So like this he introduced. So now we understand that Aruna's son is Jatayu. He had a brother Sampati, and Garuda is the nephew, because the brother, son of the elder brother. So that is uncle Garuda. So like this, the introduction is given. And it is mentioned, such as I am, I can be your helpmate at your residence if only you wish to me. Me too. Oh boy, this impassable forest is a beloved one to predators and demons, isn't it? As such, I can take care of Sita if you and Lakshmana go out. So he is already predicting. This is actually in the beginning stages when they met in the Panchavati, that area, that he's already, in case you get any, he's telling Sita or Lakshmana, he's not including Ram, he's only telling, if they get some, in distress, I will come out and help you. So like this, so Raghava revered Jatayu in his turn by gladly hugging and stood by him with his head bent, and that kind-natured Rama is indeed regarded of the friendship of his father with Jatayu, that is repeatedly said by Jatayu. So this is the introduction in the beginning stanzas. Then they later on they come to this Dandaka. Then to the Panchavati actually, and where actually the abduction happens. Yeah. He, that Rama, took the princess from Mithila, Sita, and proceeded to Panchavati along with that very mighty bird and Lakshmana, as though to incinerate enemies like fire that burns down grasshoppers. So they come there, and after that, when actually the abduction happens, then they are searching for Sita Mata, and by again quirk of the fate, they come across Jatayu. So before that, actually, when the abduction happens, Ravana takes her in the chariot, in the Pushpaka Vimana, or is the aircraft. So that time, Jatayu actually also sees that, and then he flies. He flies to catch hold of Sita and try to save her. So then Sita looks at him. She sees the Jatayu, and then she tells this: "Oh Jatayu, everything about my abduction shall be narrated to Rama or to Lakshmana as it happened in its entirety." Thus Sita supplicated Jatayu. So when she was being abducted and both were airborne, so Sita is asking Jatayu, what she is asking? She is telling that, you please inform Ram and Lakshman to help me. She is not telling that you come to my rescue. So this again shows Sita's nature and character, such a form of humility, that she did not want Jatayu to be, in case if he comes for a fight, it might be hurt, it may lose its life. So she's telling that, she's requesting Jatayu, just inform them, that's all, they will take care. So this is her nature, Sita. Even though her life is at stake, she's not telling Jatayu to save. Jatayu he definitely would have saved, but she's not requesting. Jatayu, who is slumbering away, craned and stared on hearing the voicing of Sita, and then he saw Ravana and even Vaidehi. So while he was flying, then immediately he gets very wild. Jatayu, he just ignores her request. Actually, she told, you please stop here now, go and call them, bring them, but he never does that. He actually immediately gets into the attack mode. So now he says, oh brother, now it is inapt of you to undertake a deplorable deed. I am one of those who abide by perpetual probity and vow to truthfulness, such as I am. Oh, decahedral demon, means 10-headed Ravana, I am the mightiest king of eagles, known by the name of Jatayu. So he directly gives that introduction, and then he is now trying all the steps of how to win the, if it is possible to win the heart of Ravana. I try to pacify him. So he's using the Sama, Veda, Bheda, and the Danda. So he's now giving the information. So now he comes and tells that how a king adhering to probity can lay his hands on the wives of others. If it is a king's wife, oh great mighty Ravana, she is to be safeguarded particularly. So now he is giving the real knowledge. So he is telling that you are a mighty king. You're you're such a great personality, great warrior, and then how come you are abducting such a great personality? Again, the wife of a great person. So what is the understanding is that he's trying to say is indirectly he's chastising him is that Yatha Raja Tata Praja. So if you are as a king doing like this, what to imagine of the all your Praja, what they'll be doing? Such a ignominious job you're doing. Please, don't do this. So he's giving him the knowledge. Jnana. Reverse your filthy course or fortuity or mind from laying your hands on another's wife. A sagacious person does not undertake the deed by which others deplore him. As with the protection of one's own wife from somebody's laying hands on her, other person's wife is also to be protected in that way. So now further he's telling that just imagine if your wife is kidnapped, Mandodari is kidnapped in front of you, what is going to be your fate? What is going to be the respect of the kingdom or the of the entire society? So that kind of a job you are doing. So please stay away from this. Just give her back. Like that he is telling. When that great mighty Rama has not transgressed either in your country or in your city Lanka, then how come you become a transgressor in the respect of that noble souled Rama? So he's telling that he didn't do anything. He's not an aggressor. He's not an offender. He did not even attack you. Nothing has been done. No harm has been. But why you are coming and harming? Don't become an aggressor. Ultimately, you will face the death. Like that, he is telling that the nose of the rope, it will come and it will hit your neck and it will be killed. The death will come and you. When I am alive, you cannot lead away this auspicious lotus eyed Sita, the dear queen of Rama. You cannot do this. When I am alive, you cannot touch her. You cannot take her. And then he says, but I must definitely accomplish something to forestall you till they come. Till they come, I want to stall you. For I cannot willingly depart from here to fetch any of the two brothers. So he's giving the reason. And that deed I must to do should be agreeable to the great soul Rama, likewise even to Dashratha, and even at the stake of my life. So he's praying, ultimately, he's decided that he is going to attack. So he's praying all of them, including Dashratha, that please, even if at the stake of my life, I'm going to attack you. I'm not going to leave you. So hearing this, Ravana became very furious, infuriated. Hey, you're just a bird. You're just, okay, look very mighty. You're just a bird. Okay. How come you are intervening in this? It's not none of your affairs. Just, get lost. You are after all a bird. I'm a human. Like that, then the great mighty Ravana incessantly stormed the Lord of the Eagles, Jatayu, with arrows that have excruciating and highly dreaded arrowheads, means poisonous arrowheads, and some with iron and loaded with some poison and all these things. And then he, attacks by leaving all these arrows. So that eagle Jatayu, who is the lord of winged chariots, namely birds, in turn sustained those arrays of Ravana's arrow in that combat. So great combat started. But that great mighty Jatayu severally made gashes on the body of Ravana with his 2 feet that have gashing claws from that bird, with this best of its stamina. So what is the weapon? Jatayu has any weapon? He cannot carry a weapon, or it cannot carry a sword or a arrow, bow, nothing. So the only weapon for is its claws. So it started, attacking through the claws and then started gnashing. And even Ravana, all over his body, there were some, marks, scratch marks and attack marks, and then blood was oozing out of him also. But still, that was not enough, because again it is airborne. No, it was not in that. Suppose it is on the ground, it can attack it easily, because there is some balance and something. When it is flying, and Ramana always trying to escape, and of all the persons, Ramana, we know what is he? He's the mystic. He's the most powerful mystic at that time. Correct. He was able to do so many Maya jals. So he could, all the 8 ways of Anima, Lagima, all those things, even he also knew. So he could, become lighter of the lightest, heavier of the heaviest, and he could become invisible. So many things Maya Jal he was doing. So it was so difficult to even attack him. So now, after all this happens, finally, that highly resplendent Lord of Birds also blasted off the armor of Ravana, which is glowing and flame-like in its flare with both its feet. So, despite all that, it attacked Ravana. Jatayu attacked Ravana. It took off his armor, whatever armor Ravana was wearing, even that was ripped off. Then finally, it attacked even the chariot. The chariot also was actually almost, broken to pieces. And then finally, that chariot, which was such a great, very powerful one, and endowed with so much of, stamina and power, even that had to break because of the attacks of Jatayu. So it says like this: then that great chariot, which is flourishing with 3 bamboos from chassis to yoke, which traverses just by the steerman's wish. Just by the steerman's wish, it can go. So through the mind, and which is crafted fantastically with gem-studded body and the stairs, or whose wheels are crafted with gold and gemstones, and which in its flare like a ritual fire, Jatayu splintered down even that chariot of Ravana. So completely he is smashed. So after that, on clasping Ravana with incisive claws, again personally attacking Ravana with the claws, Jatayu lacerated deeply. He ripped off his body, and rampantly as a mahout, which was on the elephant, who controls how he controls the elephant, and with his ankush like that, he completely kept him in control, and then he pushed him down, and when he pushed him down, the chariot actually fell down, along with, of course, Sita Mata is there. I mean, she is also being, protected by Lord's divine arrangement, and the chariot actually fell down. Yeah. So his arms are mutilated, thus the instantaneously ricocheted from his body like snakes possessing the series of venomous blazes sprawling out of a snake pit. So like that, this is again very bewildering. His body was mutilated, blood was coming, some parts of the body was actually coming out, but what was happening? It was growing. It was again growing. The arms, he had, he's 10-headed and 10 and 10, 20 arms. Dasharatha, Ravana, even that, whatever was being ripped apart was again growing. So this was again very bewildering, just like snakes are coming out of venomous snakes are coming out of the snake pit. Like we see that they're there, and how much ever you try to remove the snakes, there are so many hidden in that, the hutta or the ant hill, and they're coming out. So he was actually, helpless. How much ever he tried by his Maya potency, he was able to bring out. So when the demon of cruel actions had ruptured his wings, that is a time when he actually cut off the wings, because he had so much of power. He finally cut off the wings of Jatayu, and by rupturing, then Jatayu also fell down. On seeing Jatayu fallen on the earth, dampened with blood, Vaidehi fell into a fit of weeping and ran towards him as if he is her own relative. So Sita Mata also was so anguished, and she went and tried to pacify or try to do some seva to Jatayu, but again it was of very little use. She who is looking searchingly at the plane of the earth for Rama or Lakshmana, and truly bawling in high pitched mellow voice, calling Rama, Lakshmana, she was chanting. She was always calling out their names, asking for their help, and but nothing was forthcoming. So she was completely wailing in that. But again, in great devotion, she was calling out the Lord, and somehow he will come and help. So when that best king has asked, those animals rose to their feet. Now this has happened, and it is almost that lamentation is going on. But on seeing them pryingly, the tigerly man Raghava has indeed asked them at own voice, stifled with the tears, where is Sita? So now it has so happened that Rama has come back. He has met Lakshmana, and both of them meet, and then they find that Sita Mata is not there. So now they start looking, hunting to see where she has gone. The first thing, the doubt they get is that she has gone to the banks of Godavari. So they come to this Godavari and then search there, but she is not to be found. And there, while they come across, they see that, because that is the place of where the abduction happened, so they see that the flowers of Sita Mata is spread over there, and some bangles and some some jewels, all this is there. And then they see the footprints of Sita Mata, and also the fragrance of Sita Mata itself was there. So that way Ram could identify, yes, this is the place they would have gone. And that's how they come southward, because and they see this footprints of Sita Mata, and also they see the footprints, the bigger footprints. Then immediately they recognize that it is some demon only would have kidnapped or abducted her. So they come down, and while they are coming, where is Sita, where is Sita, 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 they are calling and coming. Then they come, and you know who gives the information that where they have gone? Some more information, the real information is actually given by the animals, the nearby animals which are there, the deer, the monkeys, and all these rabbits, hares, all these were there. They actually give the information. Yes, they have gone in this direction only, so please go in this direction, and they show the way. So here it says, when the best king had asked those animals, the animals rose to their feet in a trice and facing themselves southward and showed skyward with their snouts, means with their like a pig has a snout, like the face. And while running in the direction, they also came running, because they are going forward and showing the way where how the Ravana kidnapped her, which is the way in which Maithili is taken away. They are stopping to look back at the Lord of the people, Rama. Thus they repeatedly running, stopping and staring at Rama. Again, they're all, they're facing the Lord himself, the eternal parts and parcels of the Paramatma. So they are in awe of respect of Rama, but they're not able to really do that. They're also in the pain because this incident has happened. So they keep staring at him, and then they are helpless, and they want to show the way, and then immediately Ram let him go, Lakshmana go, and then let them catch. So that is their mood, and then they show the way, and finally Rama comes to that place where he finds Jatayu. He sees that place where Jatayu is actually down there in the ground, and he's completely in a very pathetic stage, blood all oozing, and he's not able to move himself. So here they meet, and then so now Jatayu says, "Oh boy Rama, blessed is your eternally, for whom you are searching as with the search of a rejuvenant herb in the vast forest. Ravana stole that lady and my life too." So like that, it reveals that Ravana took, and he took my life also. So now it's and he reached all that. He even sees that chariot, which is almost fallen down. "This is the charioteer dropped dead onto earth by my wings. When I am overtired, Ravana gashed my wings and flew skyward, taking Sita of Videha kingdom, and with him, and it will be inapt of you to kill me, of whom already killed by the demon." Thus Jatayu appealed to Rama. So actually this chariot is gone. It is on the ground. It is broken, everything. But still again, that Mayavi Ravana, again he had created one more aircraft Vimana, and then he had taken Sita away. At that time, Jatayu could not do anything because he himself was completely struck. So this way he is narrating to Ram, and then begging to him that I could not actually protect her, I could not save her. He actually has done so much of heroic job. He gave his life for the struggle, but still he feels that inadequacy. So from that we can get the lesson that we also, when we do our spiritual activities, actually what we are doing bhakti is just namkavaste. We are not actually with full heart. We are not doing, because we will get prasad, or we'll get some association, or we get some. For that reason, we come to the temple and we are doing. We are not actually out of the heart. We are not doing. Or some are doing for money. Some are doing for their livelihood. I mean, actually, it should be a nishkama bhakti. But we, in the Kali Yuga people, are so downfallen or so contaminated that we cannot do. We are just doing it because we have some great personalities like Prabhupada and so many acharyas. They have given the mercy, they have bestowed. That is why it is called, the Guru's mercy is what is called as causeless mercy. It is without cause. For any reason, there is a cause for anything to happen, correct? Cause of all causes. But when Guru's mercy is there and Acharya's mercy is there, it is called causeless. That's why it is called causeless. No words can explain this. No explanation can give this. So that is that mercy which is protecting us, and we are doing some little seva to the Lord. So how much serious we have to be, to come to the, actually we are still in the sadhaka stage, very, very low profile, neophyte stage. And can you imagine that if you have to reach Golaka Vrindavan, we have to be in the prema stage. How much far it is, trillions and trillions of miles away. But we are still attempting to do that. But the beauty of it is, in this spiritual journey, the power of the parampara, the power of acharyas and very great pure devotees, and our gurus, they can actually pick us. That is the power which actually Lord endows, gives it to this great Mahatmas, and through that they can actually pick us up from this ocean of birth and death. So that is the only hope. So it is called hope against hope. Amongst the 9 characteristics of reaching from sadhaka bhakti to prema bhakti, passing through the bhava stage. So one of them is actually the asha baddha, hope against hope. That is what we have to do. Hope against hope, and then finally we might be delivered. So Ram comes, even though Ram is comparatively a bold person, he involuntarily fell down to the ground as the one-fold scorch of anguish for Sita. One is Sita is kidnapped. That is a big anguish. He is in great misery. And second is that he is seeing his eternal servitor. He wanted to protect him, but he is also in this pitiful condition, and is doubled by the predicament of Jatayu, and he started wept over Jatayu. Thus lamenting in that way for many times, Raghava patted the body of Jatayu along with Lakshmana, instancing his parental regard. He is protected like a father, Jatayu. So he is appreciating Jatayu, and then he is actually blessing him that you did a great job and you will also be delivered. The bird which for years together lived fearlessly in Dandaka forest, a habitat of demons, that bird wilted to death because of me. So this is the lamentation Lord is telling. Because of me, you are dying. You are actually living so peacefully. Everything at your command, at force, because you are the mightiest of the birds. But what condition has befallen on you? So this is again the humility of the Lord that he is telling. And finally, he says, now he says, oh Saumitri, that is to Lakshmana, get the firewood and I will produce fire by friction of 2 sticks, as I wish to cremate the Lord of the birds who expired because of me. So like this, he sees the final end, and then he asks him to bring the best of the firewood, arni, sandalwood and all that, and now I will cremate. So this happens, and oh greatly mighty king of eagles, by me created ritually and by me aptly consented. So all ritual, following all the rituals of how a father to a son, a son to a father. So he's doing this, and you departed to those. Now he says that you depart to the unexcelled heavenly worlds. You depart to those worlds that are destined for the virtues of Vedic rituals, and to those worlds that are destined for the practitioners of ascetics amid 5 ritual fires, and to those that are destined for untreating combatants, and to those worlds that destined for the donors of the lands. So said Rama to the departed Jatayu. So he is actually telling that you will get this destination. Actually, here, it is talking of heaven and these places where combatants are there, warriors are there. So like that, it is telling. I mean, it is said that Kshatriyas, when they die in a battlefield, they will get heaven. They will get a higher destination. So even Shastras also address like this, because when we talk of Ramayana, it is a itihasa. When the scripture is given, it is a itihasa. It is a form of a story. When it comes to Puranas, there are so many Puranas. It is also again in the form of a story where some leelas are depicted. So we may come across such words, oh heaven, Swarga, or such places. But actually, that is meant for the people who are at that level of receiving. Directly, if you tell to a common man that you will go back to Vaikuntha, an eternal place, spiritual, it will not be understandable to them. So so that's a gradation. So all for a devotee, even when his Lord is telling that you will get this kind of a destination, you have to understand that is an eternal place, not just a Swarga or a heaven. Because Lord knows where each one have serving. So like this, it is mentioned, and yeah. Rama immediately chanted the Vedic hymns that are employed in such funerals of one's own paternal people, as Brahmanas say that those hymns are employable in such rites as they lead the soul of the departed to the heaven. Of course, again, heaven means the spiritual world. So like this, they go on. Then both the sons of notable Rama man, namely Dashratha, on going to the river Godavari, they have oblated waters for that king of eagles, Jatayu. So like this, they give a very, very dignified oblations and all the prayers, and really thank Jatayu for all that heroic deed he did. So this way, we can understand what is Jatayu's sacrifice. So if you see Ramayana, there are so many characters. What comes out in the whole, the thread in the entire Ramayana is what? One single aspect is each one trying to sacrifice. The whole thing, Tyaga. It's all about Tyaga. We have seen how Rama, he himself showed, he himself took that as a spearhead, and he became a role model. How he sacrificed the kingdom when it's available. Rama could have fought with his father or with his mothers and all that, saying that stepmother, I would say, what Kaikeyi you did, blah blah blah. And then I want the kingdom, I will rule the world. Could have done that. No, he sacrificed. And Sita Mata sacrificed. Bharata sacrificed. Lakshmana sacrificed. Everyone. So it's a great, great, great lesson for sacrifice. What to speak of Jatayu. And we even a iota of that sacrifice, we actually don't. I personally, I don't have. We don't have. We cannot. We are still attached. We are still really want to. So many things we want to do. So I don't know what is going to be our fate. But this is all a lesson. Slowly we have to learn bit by bit, step by step, every day. Keep remembering these pastimes of the Lord. What sacrifices they did, and what is the ultimate? They did all that, but what is the result? What is the benefit they got? So that is what we have to contemplate, and then keep meditating upon. Then definitely, Lord will do the justice. He will do the needful, not justice. Justice is already there. He will do the needful. So when we reply to when we send the mails to our juniors, PDTN, correct? Please do the needful. We'll not say blah blah blah. All these you do, just PDTN. So that's it. Please do the needful, Lord. Please do the needful. Please do the. That's what we have to keep praying. That is the form of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jai Jai Shri Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Mata ki Jai. Hare Hare Bol. Ram Navami Maha Mahotsav ki Jai. Hare Krishna. If anyone has any realizations, any questions, comments, so please, they can come. Anything on the okay. Srimad Bhagavatam class ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai. Hare Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. So having the wonderful darshan of the Lordships. So we can conclude the session today right here by offering obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patidanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnavata ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Jai Gaur Sitanath Paramanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare